Before starting a new experiment in the lab, we have to make sure we have all of the necessary solutions on hand. If we're out, it's time to make a new batch. One common experiment performed in biology labs is agarose gel electrophoresis to analyze DNA molecules. This experiment requires a solution called TAE, which is named after its ingredients: tris, acetic acid, and EDTA. Tris and EDTA both help stabilize DNA molecules and prevent them from getting degraded during an experiment. Tris and acetic acid also help conduct electricity through the gel. Making solutions carefully is the first step to ensuring that your experiments work. So let's learn how to make solutions that prime our experiments for success. Here are 5 general steps to follow. Step 1. Find the recipe for your solution. Recipes for solutions like TAE buffer can be found in lab manuals, on various websites from companies who make lab supplies and reagents, and other free online science resources. The internet is your friend here. Step 2. Next, we need to decide how much solution to make. One approach to making this decision is looking up how much we would need for an experiment. When we look up how much TAE is required for agarose gel electrophoresis, we see that we need 700 milliliters to both pour and run a gel. You always want to make a little extra just in case, so if we wanted to make enough TAE for 1 round of gel electrophoresis, we'd make 800 milliliters. But chances are you're not the only person running a gel in your lab. Labs usually keep a big stock of TAE on hand for everyone to share, so let's make enough for our lab mates as well. 5 liters should do the trick. Step 3. Now that we have our recipe and we know how much we're making, we can figure out how much of each ingredient we need. Let's go over some best practices for calculating the amount of ingredients needed to make a solution. We'll need our solution recipe and the volume of solution we want to make. In this example, we'll be making TAE, a solution commonly used in molecular biology labs, and we want to make 5 liters of it, enough for us and our lab mates. Solution recipes are written in terms of concentrations. We use concentrations because they're always the same, regardless of whether we want to make 50 milliliters, or 5 liters, or 50 bazillion gigaliters of the solution. We typically measure concentrations in units of molarity, aka the number of moles of solute per liter of solvent. Note that in TAE, the ingredient concentrations are in units of millimolars, but don't sweat it. 1 millimolar is just 1,000th of 1 molar. First, note that tris is usually stored as a solid, while acetic acid and EDTA are usually stored as concentrated liquid solutions, known as stock solutions. There are slightly different approaches when working with solid or liquid ingredients. Let's start with the solid solute tris. Our solvent is water, which is the most commonly used solvent. To figure out how much tris we'll need to make 5 liters of TAE, let's write out our 40 millimolar concentration in terms of millimoles per liter. Our goal is to convert this to an actual amount of tris we can add to our water. First, let's convert millimoles to moles. To do this, we need a conversion factor relating the two. A millimole is 1,000th of a mole, so we can create our conversion factor by dividing both sides of this expression by 1 mole. Remember that whenever we divide a unit by itself, we can cancel out the unit. Now we have a conversion factor that relates millimoles to moles. Because the conversion factor equals 1, multiplying it does not change the value, only the units. Next, we can use this conversion factor to convert the tris units into moles per liter. Be careful to arrange your conversion factor so that units cancel out. We're now ready to determine how many moles of tris we need for our solution by multiplying the concentration by the final volume. We're making 5 liters of TAE, so we'll multiply by 5 liters. Turns out we need 0.2 moles of tris. But how do we know how many grams this is? We need the molar mass, aka the molecular weight, of tris. This is the mass of tris that contains 1 mole of tris molecules. The molar mass of a substance can be found on the label of the container it comes in, or you can look it up online. Tris has a molar mass of 121.1 grams per mole, so we can just multiply that by the number of moles we need. The moles will cancel out, and we're left with the number of grams of tris we need. 24.2 grams of tris to make 5 liters of TAE buffer. Now it's time to figure out how much of our liquid ingredients to add. Since we're taking concentrated liquids and diluting them to get our desired final concentration in our TAE, we can use a really handy formula that goes like this. The concentration of our initial solution multiplied by its volume is equal to the concentration of our final solution multiplied by its volume. Let's use this equation to figure out how much acetic acid we need to add. Our TAE recipe calls for 0.02 molar acetic acid, so we'll go ahead and pop that in for our CF value. And we want 5 liters of it, so that will be our final volume value. Next, we need to write in a value for CI, the initial concentration of the concentrated acetic acid stock solution we have in the lab. A common form of concentrated acetic acid is glacial acetic acid, which is 100% acetic acid and 17.4 molar. We can write this value in as our CI. Now we can solve for the initial volume to find out how much glacial acetic acid we should add to our solution to reach our desired concentration. Remember to keep track of your units so that you know what unit the final answer is in. Whenever we divide a unit by itself, we can cancel them out. It turns out we'll need 5.7 milliliters of glacial acetic acid for 5 liters of TAE, which we can include in our recipe. EDTA can be found in the lab either as a solid or as a concentrated stock solution. Let's figure out how much EDTA to add, assuming we have a 0.5 molar EDTA pH 8 stock solution available. We'll return to our favorite CI-VI equals CF-VF equation. Assuming we have a 0.5 molar EDTA stock solution, that means our CI is 0.5 molar. And we know our CF is 0.001 molar, and our VF is 5 liters. Plugging those values in, we find that we need 10 milliliters of EDTA. Hooray! We've figured out how much of each ingredient we need to make 5 liters of TAE. Step 4. Carefully measure the ingredients and mix them together in water. Easy as pie, right? Well, there are a few things to consider, so we've divided step 4 into smaller parts. Let's take a look. A. Before we start making the solution, we need to put on personal protective equipment, or PPE, that covers our eyes and skin. If you have long hair, it's also important to tie it back. B. Since we know we're making 5 liters of solution, let's get a 5-liter beaker to mix everything in, and fill it up about halfway with distilled or deionized water. Double distilled water is labeled DDH2O, which is the most pure lab-grade water. Distilled, or DH2O, and deionized, or DiH2O, water are slightly less pure, but are all fine for this solution. C. Put the beaker on the stir plate. D. Find a clean magnetic stir bar. Rinse it using a squirt bottle of double distilled water. Blot it dry with a clean lab napkin and drop the stir bar in the beaker. E. Turn the stir plate on and slowly increase the speed of stirring until a vortex forms. Make sure it's not spinning too quickly or else the solution will splash over the top. Adjust the speed to be just enough, but not too fast, before adding any chemicals. F. Now that the water is stirring, let's weigh out our ingredients. First, put a disposable weigh boat on a scale and hit the 0 or tare button so that the scale won't count the mass of the weigh boat. Remember, we want 24.2 grams of tris for our 5 liters of TAE buffer. Unscrew the tris bottle and carefully weigh out 24.2 grams of tris. Tilt the bottle slightly downwards towards the weigh boat so that the tris salt inside is just coming up to the lip of the bottle, but it's not falling out yet. Gently tap the back of the bottle to knock the powder out and into the weigh boat. Repeat a few times until you have 24.2 grams in your weigh boat. It's better to overshoot than undershoot. If you overshoot the amount you wanted to weigh out, just use a spatula, scoop, or spoon to remove the extra tris and throw it in the appropriate waste container. G. Now we can slowly add the 24.2 grams of tris to the water in our beaker. Add about a quarter of the tris at a time and then wait for it to dissolve. Repeat a few times until everything is added. Try to pour the tris in the center of the beaker to avoid undissolved tris accumulating at the edges. The solid will dissolve quickest near the fast-moving water near the center of the vortex. Pro tip: if there's still some powder residue stuck to the bottom of your weigh boat, you can use a squirt bottle with distilled water to rinse the last of the powder into the solution. H. Once we've added the tris, we can now add the 10 milliliters of EDTA. Measure out 10 milliliters of EDTA from the 0.5 molar EDTA pH 8 stock solution, using either a graduated cylinder or a sterile pipette. Whenever using stock solutions, be especially careful not to contaminate the bottle. The next couple of steps involve handling an acid, so be extra sure your PPE is in place. The final ingredient is 5.7 milliliters of glacial acetic acid. Be particularly careful when using acetic acid, which is both corrosive and flammable. Yikes. Even short exposure to your skin could cause serious temporary or moderate lasting injury. You can use a sterile pipette to measure the 5.7 milliliters. This is an example of an important lab safety rule. Always add acid to water and never the other way around. Here, for example, we're adding acetic acid to a water-based solution. J. Once everything has been dissolved, carefully pour the solution back into a 5-liter graduated cylinder. Graduated cylinders are much more accurate than beakers, so we use them to accurately bring the solution up to its final volume. Pro tip: as you pour the solution into the beaker, place a magnet, for example, another stir bar, at the bottom of the beaker to prevent your stir bar inside the beaker from ending up in the graduated cylinder. Use distilled water to bring the final volume in the graduated cylinder to 5 liters. Measure the total volume using the lowest part of the meniscus. But add water very slowly as you're nearing the final volume, as it's easy to overshoot. When the bottom in the dip reaches 5 liters, we're done. After bringing our solution up to the final volume, you may want to adjust the pH to 8. K. Pour the TAE solution from the beaker to a storage container. You may want to filter solutions before storing them to remove any dirt or contaminating particles, but this step is usually unnecessary when making gel running buffer. L. Be sure to label the container with the solution name, in this case TAE, the ingredients and their concentrations, and your name and the date you made it. Step 5. Clean up. An experiment is never done until your lab space is cleaner than it was before you started. Lastly, clean all your beakers and glassware. Make sure the tris, EDTA, and acetic acid are placed back where you found them. We hope you enjoyed our 5-step solution to making solutions.